The labor of love, the insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Podcast, We Made It podcast,
Damn, that was good.
episode 176.
176.
I'm gonna have to.
I had to read the screen real quick. I kind of forgot that number.
I'm gonna have to cut that long ass pause there. Straight dead air. Episode 176. We Made It podcast. The fact that we're not on the biggest platform that's possible at this point is ridiculous. Going around listening to people's analysis is so bad. Holy moly, what is going on? They're so bad, but we're here to provide the really good analysis from people that actually watch the games and take notes on the games, actual notes, actual whole page. One game is a whole page of notes here. Every single thing that happens of importance has a minute next to it, a minute number. Damn, do y'all do that? I don't think you do.
No.
Anyway, we got a lot to talk about. We might talk about
doing it all for no love.
Yeah, I mean, this is a labor of no love. Oh, that's a good title, actually. Write that down. Labor of no love.
Our titles are getting more and more depressing.
Never mind. No, relax. You just put a broken heart emoji for the. Just put a broken heart for the picture.
The picture of McConan.
Say what?
Picture of McConan from the video. Fuck love.
Looking sad.
Mm-hmm.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, we're gonna talk a little bit about the Classico if you want to. I mean, that was a long time ago now. I mean, it's mostly a long time ago because of Champions League, but like we gotta wait till Wednesday to record with the Champions League. But yeah, we're gonna talk about Champions League recaps. Talk a little bit about this Barcelona board resignation and what that means for Barcelona or what it doesn't mean for Barcelona. And we'll bring back the illustrious, the incredible, the incredulous, the indefatigable UFC Ceez. Although Caesar is distracted right now, he is doing a lot on his 3 screens. But if you look on YouTube, he does have some juice that he's drinking. Cloudy, some straight guava drink.
Guava nectar.
Straight up corn syrup nectar. He ain't getting the good one.
It is. This is from the swap meet, but nice try, Bucko. Drive-through swap meet in Long Beach. Nice try, though.
Straight up corn syrup.
Straight up hater.
Anyway, let's get into it. So, you want to talk about the Classico a little bit or what?
Yeah, let's talk about that old-ass game.
Yeah, I mean, it was important because, Real Madrid won 3-1. It's juxtaposing the Classico to the game today against Juve, it's just unbelievable how quickly so-called pundits forget what's going on. But yeah, the Classico. I mean, I got notes. I watched it. Nacho started. Asensio started. I put in the 3rd minute that Messi's already dropping back to the halfway line. I don't even know what they're like listing Messi as a center forward. I'm like, dog, he's literally freaking like. I watched Inter play Shakhtar, and even though Caesar has it muted, I'm going to continue. I watched Inter play Shakhtar, and Arturo Vidal is literally just playing where Pirlo played, like just way back there, just like picking out passes, like right in front of the center backs. I'm like, that's basically what Messi's doing, like half the time, except he doesn't start there. Like he'll be kind of up at the top, and he just come on back, get the ball, and pick out baller passes. But it's interesting. Don't want to spend too much time on it. Oh, good.
Only reason I'm not talking because you said it ruins the audio, so I mute myself while you're talking. Okay. So you screamed about me earlier. That's what I'm doing. Continue your recap. I don't want to ruin your audio. Okay, so go ahead.
Like, I don't even understand. Like, I'm actually kind of tripping right now because Ceez was bringing something up I said like 3 weeks ago.
Hey, it
Like,
takes some people take time to adjust. It has to become a habit, right? Labor of love.
Caesar's. I said this like 3 weeks ago and never even complained about it
Well,
ever.
sometimes
Actually,
things hit later, like Trump's comment. It just hits me a little harder later, okay? But listen, pause. What's really crazy is that about the like every time that's literally the most annoying thing about a Barcelona match. Anytime you watch a Barcelona match, when they list positions, I'm like, this man does not play center forward. He hasn't played center forward and since rotationally during the MSN whatever the hell MSNBC lineup they had, but it was rotationally. He does not play center forward. Stop listening to him center forward. FIFA 21, stop putting him at center forward. It's ridiculous. He does not. He plays literally right defensive mid. That's what he plays. Right defensive mid. He's an RDM. He's an RDM. And if that Dutch coach was a real one, he would actually run a 4-2-3-1 and put Messi at RDM. That'd be a fresh ass lineup. I'd be like, now we talking right now. You put him back there, put the little mini dude running around the middle, put some other players, put Trincão out there, I know what the hell he plays, and then put Junior Firpo at fullback, but Messi at RDM. Now we're talking some real tactics.
you know what's funny? Because once again, going back to Shakhtar intermatch, they listed Marlos, your cousin, as the right defensive mid in the 4-2-3-1. But Marlos was getting up there in the front and doing something and shooting the ball a lot. Just just line Messi up where he is. Just put him in the formation where he is. He can still get up there and shoot.
Bam. Casemiro and Messi be doing the same thing.
Yeah, except for
the defensive part. They just be on the field in the same area minus the defense. I watched that Real game. He had like 4 shots at the goal. Same thing, Messi be getting like 4 shots at the goal. You might as well. If he comes to send Messi to Real so he can play an alternate CDM with Casemiro, I'm down.
It's really crazy because I'm just like, the only difference is he just doesn't, like when the ball, let's say it's like a goal kick, he starts off in the front, but then he just drops back. And I'm like, yo, like you're a deep lying playmaker. More reason for saying that is he still hasn't scored a goal from the run of play this whole season. It's all penalties, which is crazy. What are you, Bruno Fernandes?
No, he's literally. I thought what happened to Penaldo? It's Pesci now. So Pesci out here just scoring off penalties. I don't like it either. It kind of makes me uncomfortable.
Right.
Yeah. Pio Lionel? I don't know. Pionel? I don't know, man. But whatever. PP. This dude PP he only does it. He's not even like they're. First of all, Barcelona. If we talked last year about how bad Barcelona is, this year's ridiculous. This year is like a new low. Like literally, Real Sociedad is so much better than Barcelona this year. It's insane. Like literally, they actually have like a real team on the field. I'm like, oh, that's a real striker. Oh, that's a real player. When I watch Barcelona, I'm like, who are these guys and what do they play? The simple fact that some dude named Trincão can start for this team is a testament to what's going on. This used to be like, if you put on that jersey, either you're some elite ass prospect, or you're like the man. Like that's what it was on the team. I mean, these teams are stacked. Say what you want about Real Madrid having a bunch of youth now. They still have a lot of big names on there. They still have people they've retained, the vets that are good, that are useful still. Barcelona got nothing but expired goods and players hell out of position. I thought Coleman coming in was supposed to be this big, I got this project I'm bringing out, all this. He's doing the same thing he's doing at Everton. You know what that is? Hot garbage.
Well, going back to Classico, we'll go through this really fast since it's old now. What in the world? It went into halftime 1-1. I put that Real Madrid was playing better. Nacho went out. I think he got hurt. Lucas Vasquez came in at right back. It was interesting. I put that everything for Barcelona was going down the left side, which was interesting. I can't really remember why or what was going on. It's because it was so long ago. I watched so many games since then. But what's the name? The we'll just skip to the end. Basically, there was a penalty by Sergio Ramos. They were saying that penalty was controversial. I did not think so. The dude pulled, I think it was Longley, like pulled somebody's whole shirt down. I'm like, that's a penalty. I'm sorry. Ramos scored it. Luka Modric came in after that, and he scored a really nice goal in the 90th minute. He put my one of my favorite goalies, Neto, on skates. But Real Madrid played better, and like, although we'll talk about it when we talk about Juve versus Barcelona. I'll say who the player is that could potentially save Barcelona, but I'll wait until we get into their match against Juve. Getting into Champions League, I did watch Shakhtar versus Inter. It was mad boring, 0-0 match. Inter's checker jersey is garbage, and there was nothing going on there at all. I can't remember why. Like there were some chances, but Inter just couldn't really put them away. But one thing I did note is that Lukaku complains a lot, and it's like kind of annoying. Yeah, he complains a lot, dude. Like not to the ref, like to the other players. It's like, damn, dog, like chill, dude. He's like mean. I think he's mean. Well, he can't be mean because he's black. He can't.
This dude, Bam, whenever there's a chance to take a dig at Blackie, Bam says, it's my turn. Sub me in, coach. I'm ready to go. This man can do no right, huh? One time you were talking about the fans. You said that you're questioning if it really happened with the monkey chants. It's just Lukaku just got a mean streak. Y'all met some club in L.A.? What happened, dog? Are you good? Are you mad he's bald now? What's the problem?
Caesar.
Weird on him.
Caesar. I never said nothing about that monkey chant thing. You're telling a whole lie.
Definitely did. You definitely said that. Oh, like it could be Cap or something like that. I remember you said something like that. I'll find the clip. Deny your Bam. I'll find the clip.
Caesar, that's a whole ass lie, man. You over here lying on me.
Deleted the post.
Caesar's a whole ass lie.
Talking about on riding with me, dog. They believe me.
Caesar's a whole ass liar trying to say I Caesar. I'm trying to get off track here, but I can point something out. You're a denier of racism, actually. You denied somebody's racism before. Now look at you, look disinterested.
If you're talking about Luis Suarez right now, it only proves my point. If you're talking about Luis Suarez's fake black grandfather, it only going to prove my point.
Caesar.
Because if Luis Suarez is in the world, you're here to defend, but Lukaku get rid up real quick. Caesar. I'm trying to make this short episode. I'm going to stop.
Okay, well, since you're trying to lie on me, I got to tell the truth on you. When Zlatan came out saying that he gets treated with racism, you was like, nah, I feel like he's exaggerating.
Because because the only problem I have with that is it's hard to like really have the back for somebody who like really makes kind of a career of just being like kind of like I'm a cool asshole. You know what I mean? Like it's hard for me to kind of empathize for what he's going through when he like literally does all the third person combos all the time and third person posts like Zlatan did it. Zlatan here, like when you do that, it's hard for me to be like, oh, like. But then, of course, after you read it, I understood it. It made sense to me. I'm willing to learn. Unlike you don't accept it. You're just like, it is what it is. I'm just kidding.
Thank you. Yes, you don't care about the plight of Bosnians in Sweden. But anyway, Inter Shakhtar was 1-1. I mean, I'm sorry, 0-0. But let's get into a big match. Mönchengladbach versus Real Madrid. Ceez, did you watch it?
No, I didn't.
Okay, well, that's perfect because if there's anybody you want to hear about it from, it's me.
Yeah, it's funny. I was like, maybe on my lunch break I should watch like the 60 and 30, the 90 and 30 I recorded for the game. Like, just skip through it, because I recorded the game on TV. And I was like, you know what? Let's hear Bam's recap. If I ain't seen it live, I want to hear Bam's recap. I already went on Twitter and got spoiled by the spoiler. I was like, all right, I'm just going to listen to the recap on the show and watch it later on YouTube.
Okay, let me say this.
Did you tell people was this the debut of Hazard? Was this the debut match?
Yeah, he came in later. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll say this before. because we're trying to make this episode short, and I don't because we could end up spending a long time on this. For me, it's like obvious, and I think I tweeted this when we made it, that players are tired, and you could tell from this match. And maybe you could tell from the Shakhtar Inter match. The only reason I couldn't really tell from that match because I don't watch those teams, like in their league play. But having watched Real Madrid versus Barcelona and then watching them in this match, I was like, you can just tell like there's some fatigue here, and you could tell it from multiple players. It wasn't like it was from a lot of different aspects, and I saw it in other matches too, in PSG and like other matches. But Vinicius Jr. started, Asensio started with Benz up top. Lucas Vázquez started at right back. In the 20th minute, I put that it's been pretty even so far. Like before the 30th minute, I put that Ferland Mendy is the most two-footed fullback in the world, bar none. There's like no question. Ferland Mendy is like literally like there would be points where you thought he was right-footed. Like I'm not even joking. Like if you've watched Real Madrid or Mendy for the first time in the first half of that match, you'd be like, oh wow, they got a right-footed dude playing left back. And I'm not even exaggerating a little bit. Like he's so two-footed. And obviously like I'm talking about the real two-footedness, which is actually something people don't really talk about. It's not just like, oh, he can put in a cross with his right or left foot.
Or he can shoot a bomb, like what? Like
or he can shoot the ball.
Movement with the ball.
Yeah, I'm talking about like it doesn't matter to him to use either foot. Like it's not like oh he's comfortable. It's like it's natural. Like if the ball comes, it's like Ousmane Dembele. Like if the ball comes to my right, if it comes to my left, if I got to use my right or left, like it's just natural and like. It's almost like, damn, it almost sucks that he's a fullback. Like, I'm like, damn. It's like somebody should have seen that, like, at Lyon and was like, damn, dude, like, I mean, I don't know when he started being like that, but you're like, damn, dog, like, we can put this dude in the midfield, you know?
Yeah, he'd be kind of fresh. You know me, I always have, like, this weird fantasy with, like, putting some fullbacks in the midfield. That's why I like when BVB puts Rafael Guerreiro in midfield sometimes. I'm like, ooh, because he's good there. He's fun over there. So, yeah.
Yeah, but he's one-footed in a mud. But the interesting thing is, like, when he's on his left foot, you can tell he's left-footed, Mendy. Mm-hmm. Like, you can tell when he's on his left foot. But, like, it's just really, for me, as somebody who, like, likes the details of sports and stuff like that, like, and I noticed those little things, like, I'm like, this is not something that you see with pretty much any other fullback. Although I love this person, and it's going to sound like I'm just caping for him, but the only other fullback I've seen like that is another Real Madrid player, Nacho. He was somebody who's, like, very good on both feet, too. And I remember when he would have to cover at left back, not last season because he got hurt last season, it was probably the season before that. He would do it like pretty much. He would do everything with his left foot, and it was like pretty amazing. But obviously, Mendy is like better than Nacho at this point. Anyway, before Mönchengladbach's first goal, I was saying, and I was like, I really feel like Real Madrid would be better with Isco out there. But whatever. 33rd minute, Thuram scores from Mönchengladbach. It was like really kind of unlucky for Real Madrid. The ball kind of knocked around and ended up falling to him. But it was it might have been the first time I felt like, oh, like maybe there's some fatigue going on. 38th, so there's 1-0. 38th minute was the first good chance by Real Madrid, but it was kind of a half chance. 43rd minute, there was like a horrible cross by Lucas Vázquez. I was like, God dang, dog. Like you had like everybody in the box just waiting and you just kicked it out of bounds, dog. Come on. You acting like Benjamin Mendy now.
His sixth man of the year juice is running out quick. It's not going to play MLS and be like, score 25 goals.
Oh, yeah. And at what is this, 49th minute? Okay, so halftime it was 1-0. 49th minute, coming back after halftime, Vinicius Jr. had a shot go just wide. I put after that, like, man, y'all need to bring Isco in, dude, because you could just tell, like, Real Madrid wasn't playing very well, and I felt like you just need somebody that will keep possession. Like, you need somebody that can, like, just kind of suck the ball into his feet and just, like, have possession and keep things going for a while because Benzema wasn't really getting a lot of touches. Vinicius Jr. Okay, we're gonna talk about whatever happened with Benzema after we get through the whole match. But like, actually, I'll save that. I'll save what I have to say about Vinicius Jr. until we talk about the statement.
Are you gonna deep dive my tweet again like last time?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. Okay. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Oh damn! Caesar ran out of his Walmart juice. So 58th minute, Thuram scored again. It was off a rebound shot. You could say Mendy was late getting back to like make him offsides, but I wouldn't really give him that. So it's 2-0 now. 61st minute, Mönchengladbach almost scored again. It was really close. 66th minute, they almost scored again. Real Madrid is struggling, dog. 70th minute, Hazard and Modric came on for Vinicius Jr. and Toni Kroos. Hazard definitely made an impact. 74th minute, he had a shot that went just wide. 81st minute, I put that Ferland Mendy has had, up until that point, he had a few bad passes, and you could just really tell it was fatigue. Like that, like the people that you could really see the fatigue was Mendy and Vinicius Jr. But we're gonna get into it after. Rodrigo came on in the 84th minute for Asensio. 87th minute, Benzema scored a goal. It was pretty lucky. There was a cross by Valverde. The cross looked like it went out of bounds. Mm-hmm. Like I thought it went out of bounds. And then Casemiro was running up and he like heads it back, just like full, just like so much determination. He's like, and like heads the ball back in, and it just like falls to Benzema, who like just swings his left foot. I'm pretty sure it was his left foot. Oh, was it left or right? I can't remember. But either way, it was just a swing of the foot, and the ball hit like the top of the net. It could have easily just went over. It should have went over, but like the way that Casemiro just willed to keep that ball in with his header back, they earned that goal. So it's 2-1 right now, 87th minute. A couple minutes later, Casemiro gets a yellow card. And then in the 90th minute +3 of added time, Casemiro scores the same pretty much thing. There's a cross that comes in. I want to say it was by Modric. Ramos heads it down, and Casemiro taps it in. It's 2-2.
Casemiro's always eating birdie.
Oh, yeah. So the match ended 2-2. I think afterwards, Hazard said that, like, even though it was a draw, it felt like a win, and it definitely did, even just watching it. Speaking about Hazard's impact, he definitely was doing the same thing that he was doing last season. Like, it's the same thing. It's a lot. Although, like, you did see – you saw his skills. Like, Hazard is a really good dribbler, and he's really good at, like, keeping the ball close to a defender and away from him at the same time. So you saw some of that, like, slickness that he has that maybe Vinicius Jr. doesn't have as much as – like, Vinicius Jr. is just younger than him, basically. But he was still doing the same thing that he was doing last season. He's just connecting passes, really.
He's another guy that you just see as, like, sometimes it's like as he gets older, we can't really assume that his game is a winger game anymore. It seems to be so much more about the connecting pass that you really hope that he moves more of a central role where that'd be really helpful. Like, let's say he takes a spot where Modric used to be at, or whoever leaves eventually at 35. You know what I'm saying? That age, like, if like a Modric or Kroos kind of moves out of that central role, you know, hopefully, I'm not saying the exact same spot, just in the midfield in general, but of course, more of attacking mid, like Neymar with Mbappe kind of thing, like that.
That's what I was going to say.
That'd be nice. Like, especially if you can get that link up with a triangle with like Vinny and Benzema and him right there. It'd be kind of cool, you know?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's more like a Neymar because Hazard is never going to have like the defensive mindset that Modric and Kroos have.
Manji Madrid kind of talked about, like, you know, they lightly skimmed over the idea and said that, we don't know if that's going to work. But I was like, and I think I replied and I said, well, you don't have a large enough sample size to know if that's not going to work yet. You know, the times that Hazard played at Chelsea and the central attacking mid role, there's actually really positive stats on it, even though I don't really care about stats. There's positive stats on it. So you don't really know unless you kind of really start to work it and try it out. And even when the PSG is a great example, because in the very beginning it wasn't perfect. It takes time to develop that chemistry on those parts of the field and players knowing their role and spots that they can kind of like excel, adapt, speed up, slow down, and attack in those positions. So, you know, just it's about like waiting for Zidane to kind of maybe see that and give it an opportunity first.
I like the idea, but I don't like it with Benzema because Benzema drops back. So, like, it wouldn't really – I don't think it would really work because of the way Benzema plays. If they had a more traditional center forward, then because with Neymar, it works a lot because you have a straight slasher and Mbappe, who's also just, I mean, ridiculous, but he's like pushing the line on the wing, and then you're going to have like a traditional center forward there that's also going to push the line and be there for those little drop back connections. Benzema is dropping back like way back, kind of. Yeah. So like, it's going to be too hard to get Benzema to change his game. But if they had done what would have been probably a better idea, in my opinion, is getting a traditional center forward there to kind of back up Benzema, then I can see it. Hazard could definitely do that. And like I do think that it's just different, but it's kind of too much to get into. But it might be time to kind of get off that wing, homie.
Step up off that wing, homie.
Yeah. But let's get into what ended up being somewhat kind of controversial. Apparently, in halftime of the match, Benzema was talking to Ferland Mendy in both of their native French and was saying, yo, I don't have the exact quote here, but you know, he was like, yo, like, let's just say, like, he was just like, oh, don't pass it to him. Like, this is what I'm going to say. Because your tweet, you were saying, like, yo, like, what's up with this translation, kind of? Because, and I totally agree with you, they're translating it, like, perfectly.
Verbatim.
They're translating verbatim. And I feel like the part where he's like, I swear on my, like on my mom or whatever he's saying, like what was it?
He was like he's
playing against us.
On my mommy, I swear my mommy's playing against us, something like that.
Yeah, and I'm like, that just sounds like something you say. Like, it don't, like, that just sounds like it's like that's not like what he's actually saying. Like, when I saw it, like, for me, it's like not even a big deal. It's more like saying, like, dog, he's not telling Mendy don't pass it to him. He's telling him, like, if you got the ball, like, where you are, look at me first.
Yeah.
Not like, don't ever pass it to him. Like how I know they used to say about Bale, because they used to look away from him. And they used to look away from Danilo. And they used to look away from Hakimi and watch those matches. At no point, with like, even in going into the second half, it took like 20, like it was Vinicius Jr. didn't get sub to the 70th minute. There was no point where they're just like, nah, don't go over there. For me, what Benzema is saying is like, yo, like when you get the ball, like when you're up there, like look at me. And then like I'll get it cracking, because Vinicius Jr. wasn't playing that well as he's used to playing, but it wasn't like for them to try to like make it like, oh, he's questioning his intentions. I'm like, yo, come on, dude. Like, he's just said, like, Vinicius Jr. is tired. You can tell.
Yeah, Vinicius Jr. like it's so much to this that like screams like I don't like being a dude. I never really thought that in order to cover the sport you need to be an athlete. I don't believe in that notion. I think
No.
that's kind of like a very closed-minded approach to the sport, and it closes the sport to people that if you don't really think about it, you're closing the sport to the people who maybe they just weren't born with the ability to do things. Maybe they might be disabled or whatever. So it's not fair to like make the sport only for people that play it. That's like a very kind of disgusting approach to it, in my opinion. But at the same time, when it comes to like I think some things about culture are different. Like when it comes to sport culture, that may be even harder to interpret than the sport itself. And especially when like Benzema already, I mean, we can deep dive this so hard, but the thing is like, just to keep it shorter so it doesn't become a 2-hour show, Benzema, like the way he said that, it just screams like, to me, I'm like, that just sounds like in a different language how I would talk if I was in the situation. And honestly, if you watch the video, Vinicius Jr. is in the video too, and the way Benzema's saying it, he just says it like an upset player. And I've been an upset player. Everybody's been an upset player. I've literally probably said worst about my teammates in situations, but the context of it wasn't to, hey, Mendy, let's target Vinicius Jr. and make sure that he does not he has no opportunity to make anything happen. What he's telling Mendy is prioritizing the Mendy. Hey, man, give me this damn ball, okay? Like if you're going to attack this, and you can attack that Kobe discussion when they were down by 40 points against the Portland Trailblazers, or 30 points in his swan song year, he went in the locker room and he yelled, nobody shoots the ball until I touch the ball first this half. It's a competitiveness. It's a fire. Whether it's a discussion of how it's beneficial or not, I don't really care right now. But it's more important about how there's not a situation where there needs to be consequences or berating. I'm being honest with you, dude. I also like want to. This is how I feel. I feel it's a little bit racist too to kind of get on Benzema about this, because Benzema's already such an easy target for not only not being like an OG French person or whatever. Like he's Algerian, and he already has like the controversy surrounding what happened with him and the French national team and extortion, all that stuff. So he has like a lot of like a heavy baggage that comes with him based upon the past. So I feel like it's easy to pile on him when I thought this situation specifically, it's not fair. Vinicius Jr., these players are tired. Even what's another thing that happens when people where stamina's low, they're tired. You kind of just like, you're just over it. You're exhausted mentally, physically. You say things, but to be fair, like if it was crazy, I'll be real with you, two things. Like Bam said on Twitter, number one, if he was dead serious, number one, we wouldn't have the audio. Number two would be to Zidane himself, or you'd see the video to Zidane. It'd be weird. It'd be a very uncomfortable video. That video didn't make me uncomfortable. Third, if it was crazy, you would have seen the team captain set up. Or you would have seen another player been like, yo, like, come on, what the hell is that? You would have seen Courtois say something. You can tell that the players are just talking. They're talking S about each other. It's not a big deal. I think it's not good to deep dive in. It's honestly funny. The one game this happens is the game that you talk about saying the players are tired. And all I could think to myself was, like when I read this tweet, I was at work. I was like, "Oh, Bam just talked about they're being tired. The game is tied up at the end." I'm like, they're just exhausted. Like when you're exhausted, it's just like the next day. I bet in the showers it was all good later. Like literally just happened. So you could tell like Vinicius kind of was over there too. Like it's just these are players. They're all guys in the locker room. They need their space, clear their heads, and it's all good. It happens in practice all the time. We don't get to see these things happen all the time. Bam, I mean, you talk about that video. A long time ago, me and Ben watching this LA Galaxy game, and Robbie King screaming at Zardes 2 plays in a row. Lord knows the obscenities he was screaming. That didn't tear the team apart. They won the championship that year. It is what it is. These things happen. People approach things differently. I don't think it's a big deal.
Yeah, like really, like the way that was a Tancredi Palmieri, like the way he's framing it is like this is like a really like salacious thing, and he's questioning Vinicius Jr.'s intentions, and he's like, don't pass him the ball. And I don't know about his sports background, I have no idea, but best believe, like what you said, that Kobe thing, like, I feel like I've said that before. Like, I feel like I've been like, dog, give me the ball first, I'll make it happen. Like, I'll do it. Don't just be passing it to homie. don't pass it to Vinicius Jr. and he's just gonna shoot it. Like, no, give me the ball and I'll facilitate. For me, that's what Benzema is saying. Like, one, they're saying some like slangy shit in French, and like he's just like, yo, like, and it goes back to what I was saying, how Benzema plays. Benzema drops back, and Mendy gets pretty high up the pitch. He's like, dog, like, don't give it to him over there on the left. Like, he's not having a good game. Like, look in the middle. Like, look at me. And then like that's how we'll get it cracking. I like him for. I don't know what's gonna happen with the media with this. Like, I don't know. Like, if they're gonna try to make it a big deal. But going back to the video itself and the audio, like, I think it's really a shame, and I don't know what's the reason behind it that video and audio got out there. Like, I think that's absolutely ridiculous. How the hell are you gonna have it like audio from inside the tunnel during halftime is being released to the media? Like, that's just a complete lack of responsibility and just invasion of privacy, in my opinion.
I mean, it's what I'm noticing a lot as a trend this year, which kind of also makes me a little uncomfortable too, because I don't think the public. It's not that I don't think the public can handle how players talk. I think everybody does their weekend. I'm sure, like, even like, let's say England or whatever, this wasn't even a thing to discuss. I know these dudes be turning up in the matches, saying all kind of wild stuff. It's not about how people intake the information. It's more about how it's relayed to us.
How it's fun.
How he did it was very clickbaity, very like gaslight. Like, dude, like, you're really like trying to make something out of nothing, and it's a big team, big headline, and a player, like I said earlier, that it can be kind of iffy on. So I didn't like that at all. Like, when I read it, I'm like, dude, this is like, you're doing the most here. Like, you're taking word for word. Like, you think he's literally swearing on his mother? Like, dude, like, he's literally just talking shit. Like, that's what it is. He's just talking. Like, he's just saying, like, I'm a mama, like, don't give him the ball. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's tired. Like, just like that. Like, and then you never know. You know what? Maybe Vinicius hears that and goes, you know what? I'm going to show his ass. I'm about to come out there and do something. You never know. Everything's interpreted differently. Like I said, it was over the top.
Vinicius, I mean, like, going back, okay, the fact that it's getting released, I think is just really a shame, because we don't have cameras and audio in the locker room. Like, these dudes are just coming out of the locker room, dude. Like, come on, man. Like, they're talking tactics and stuff. Like, they're talking about, that's not, like, y'all shouldn't be releasing that to the public. And yeah, like, the way that he related makes it so people are taking sides. So you have, in his replies, some people are saying, oh, Vinicius Jr. is overrated, he sucks, whatever.
Yeah, I was like, Jesus.
And then some people are like, well, Benzema is overrated, he sucks, Vinicius is a baller. And it's like, it's not even about that. It's literally not even about that. And also, these are people responding who probably ain't even watching the game.
They're not watching the game. And the best thing about that, I went to the post to like see what people felt about. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody's talking about. The only thing that someone ever said is, I wish Courtois said something. It's not even, the discussion isn't even about the context. No one said that's inflammatory and abusive to the detriment of the team's chemistry. It wasn't 500 comments there that. It's people saying, Vinicius garbage, Benzema's wash. That's literally the conversation in there.
Some dude was like, somebody was like, why didn't Courtois say anything? And some dude was like, how do you know Courtois can understand? And everybody was like, dog, like, he's from Belgium. Like, yo, what the hell?
The most dumb thing ever. I'm like, they're speaking French to each other. You know, it was
one dude was like, geography's a thing, and like everybody's like trashing this guy. And I was like, God damn.
I'm sure it's like, that's like asking why somebody in Texas doesn't speak Spanish. Like, the geography doesn't mean shit, man. Don't know the language, you fucking idiot.
And then I was like, I was like, I mean, they're killing this guy. And then I clicked on this thing. I was like, oh, he's from Nigeria. I was like, oh, dog. I was like, I feel bad now, because in my head I'm calling you dumb as hell.
You know what? I'm gonna kind of ride for him, because I'm sure he's like, I don't know about y'all idiots in other countries. Around here, we were speaking 5 languages from all the neighboring. That's all good. We speak Spanish, English. Did they ever interview some African player? This dude know all the languages.
But like everybody's like, dog, like, Of
Yeah.
course, Courtois knows French. Like, he's from Belgium. Like, what the hell's going on? Like, of course, like, it don't mean he got to say something.
No,
But
no. But yeah, he's probably just some Nigerian Messi fan. I don't know if I can get mad.
probably. But yeah, I just, like, for me, like, I'm just like, what's the big deal? Whenever, like, some of these guys, and I don't know about, once again, I don't know about Tancredi Palmieri's background. I would love to see Bobo Vieri's reaction to it, because I promise, and I think he's like back doing stuff now. But I promise you, if he heard that, he'd be like, yeah, like whatever. Like, you say all kinds of stuff. Like, we play sports. You play sports from when you're young. You play on different levels, and like the stakes get higher and higher. Like, you care more on certain levels. The highest level to care about is professional sports. And then you're playing in like a competition that means a lot, and you lost the first game. When your teammate isn't playing well, like, and you care, you're gonna try to say something and do something to try to fix the situation. You're gonna be like, "Hey, dude, like, pass me the rock." Like, we don't know what he said before that. Benzema could have been like, "No, Pat, when you get across the halfway line, like, look for me." But he's like, "Nah, dude. Like, Zidane told me to look for Vinicius." He's like, "No, dude. Like, pass it to me." Like, well, Zidane said I should pass it to the left. Look, Furlan, I know your mom. You know my mom. We've been to the death. Look, we both from Lyon. Look, I swear to God on my mom, this dude is playing. This dude, I seen a Mooch and Gladbach like on his Instagram. He's just pass it to me. Like, all right, dude, damn. It could be anything, but they're gonna just make it like, oh, Benzema's so mean. Like, I don't know.
And I think another thing to note, it's like everybody can talk, including ourselves, about like if we were to ridicule it, but none of us play at that level. The amount of competitiveness we feel in weekend games or Sunday footy, or like even in our highest levels of playing and as our younger lives, none of that is ever what it's like to be a Real Madrid player in Champions League post losing a match after COVID, mid-COVID year. It's a lot going on right now, man. It's a lot going on. I'm not one to. I don't think it's really cool. I mean, I don't even like field mics in general right now. Like, I don't really want to be hearing these dudes at all. I don't even. Honestly, like, soccer games kind of suck right now because I actually do like the crowd. I like the cheering. I like the chants. I'd rather hear that than no commentators. But I don't want to hear the ball echoing in this arena. I don't enjoy it. I hate watching Real games at this booty ass training ground. Like, everything just feels kind of weird. So like it's an awkward situation in general. So to be able to like be one to tell a player how he should act in moments of pressure, we don't have that. We're not sports psychologists. We have a right to do that. Like, these guys, as long as they're keeping it like humanly decent, like they know they have a different level of competitive drive that we don't understand. And we don't even know how, maybe Vinicius was like that at Flamengo. We don't know. Like, people are just different in different situations, especially at Real Madrid. The percentage you are in the world to be a Real Madrid player, you're one of 41 players in the whole planet. So what do you know what it's like in the comment section? No one does. It's really over the top, everything that happened. I think that hopefully it blows over. And I'm sure the good thing is that Real Madrid's coach is Zidane. I'm sure Zidane said wilder stuff about. I mean, this dude Zidane headbutted an Italian player in the middle of a World Cup match. It is what it is. Imagine if we had audio of Ronaldo during the last year screaming on the field. This dude used to be screaming at Hesse so much, and Lucas Vasquez. I can't even fathom the Portuguese words came out of this man's mouth and Spanish at the same time. So it's ridiculous.
And also, like, I think the worst. This is the last thing I'll say about it. The worst thing, the thing that would have made it worse if he was like, the thing that I would have not liked to see, but I could probably still understand, is if he was screaming at Vinicius Jr. Like, if he was like yelling at him, saying stuff, like talking about him having a bad game, then that'd be different. Like, then I'd be like, yo, dog, like, that might not be the way to motivate him. But even still, I wouldn't know. But the fact that he's just telling Mendy, like, I'm like, dog, it's not a big deal, dude, because now there's a conversation if he's yelling at Vinicius Jr. saying you're playing like shit, look like you're playing for the other team, like, what the fuck, like, then it'd be different. But if he's just saying like, look, dude, like, don't pass him the ball, like, look for me, like, yo, dude, like, Straight clickbait Tancredi. We should name the episode that, but nobody knows who he is. But yeah, anyway, I don't know what Caesar's doing over there, but I'm watching you and you're doing something right now. And I don't know what you I'm an observer, sir. So you're caught. I don't know what you're doing, but I know you, sir. But it's all good. Anyway, Ravager 122. The other game I watched, let's start with PSG versus Başakşehir. This was an important match for PSG, and there were some big changes. One of my old school buddies, my boy Crivelli, starts center forward for Başakşehir. I think he used to play for Toulouse or Bordeaux. I forgot, but that's my old homie from the Toulon tournament. That's the first time I seen him. I was like, I like that dude.
Like 5 years ago.
Pretty much.
I want that dude with the long slick back here. That guy was cool.
And Danilo Ex Machina started at center back again. He started at center back against Dijon last weekend, and Moises Kean started as well with Neymar and Di Maria. I put from jump. I expect 5 goals, but let's start the match. What's his name? My boy Crivelli got a yellow card in the 2nd minute. I'm like, damn, can you relax? In the 7th minute, I put there was a really good defensive play by Neymar that led to an Mbappe shot. Like Neymar was like running back on the wing, got the ball off somebody. The Mbappe missed the shot though. 12th minute, I put is pretty even, but advantage to PSG. In the 16th minute, there was a shot just wide by Başakşehir after Neymar lost the ball. Right after I put in all caps, I wrote it, players are tired. You could tell. The biggest one I could tell in this match was Di Maria, who was just like so absent. And usually he's got so much energy. And like there was times like I forgot that he was playing. And for all the times that he annoys me as a player, like I've never said that about him. Like he's always running around and getting in the mix. And the fact that he was just really like lethargic today, like it just showed that there's just a lot of fatigue. You could kind of tell with Neymar too, like a little bit. You couldn't tell with Mbappe. Mbappe is a machine. Maybe you could tell a little.
Mbappe takes so long to sweat in a match. I'm like, what the hell, man? Do you sweat?
You could tell like slightly, but like nothing like really noticeable just because I watch him so much, but it wasn't like anything crazy.
Yeah.
19th minute, I seen Neymar kind of holding his groin area. I was like, oh man, is Neymar hurt? Yes. It was funny because he ended up going out in the 26th minute, and I saw him first limping in the 19th minute, and then he like got his thigh wrapped a little bit after that, and he came back on. And he was like on for maybe like a minute, and then he told the staff like he wanted to be rotated out. And then I kept on seeing on Twitter people like the PSG talk and Jonathan Johnson, them like, oh, like Neymar said he's wants to go out, and it's been like 2 minutes and he's still out, like Tuchel's ignoring him. I was like, yo, damn. I'm like, how long have y'all been watching the damn sport? It takes time. You got to warm up the other dude. like his Neymar was actually still running around a little bit after that, but like he just couldn't really do it. But he got he ran back on defense a little bit, and then like after that, and this is after he had already told Tuchel to rotate him. He got the ball and like squared up with somebody and tried to nutmeg him, and like it was like really close. Like if he would have got it, he would have been out, but he probably would have to pass it like right after that. But it wasn't like he's like laying down hurt. Like he's injured, he can't play. But like I just seen there like, why is he ignoring him? Oh my God, fire Tuchel. I'm like, y'all are just like fan Twitter, dude. Like it's just another. And sadly today I end up in a Managing Madrid fan Twitter replies. I'm like, Caesar, every time I end up like,
brutal. They even recognize their mentions are just bonkers. I'm like, dude, who are these clowns that follow y'all?
like every time I see it, I'm like, oh God, and like throw my phone. I'm like, I can't, dude. Like,
It's hard to click on their post sometimes. Like, I don't want to see these mentions of these idiots. That
they'll
literally
like
don't watch Real Madrid. Like, they're the same idiots that will go in there screaming about how Real should get fired and Zidane fired because they got rid of Hakimi. I'm like, dude, like, literally, you've watched no games. I don't care how many stats Bleacher Report gives me about Hakimi's speed. It's a damn shame when you have speed but no feet, like no dribbling feet. So I don't want to hear it. He does play good defense. He's not a good offensively. I don't care.
I watched him at Real Madrid. He was
Yeah,
garbage.
we watched him plenty. Too many games that we watched with
I
him
was
featured.
I was so mad when after like he had like played like one match and like Ray Hudson was calling him Wonder Kid. I'm like, when he played one match, he was bad. What are we talking about? Um, anyway, um, let me see. So yeah, Sarabia came on for Neymar in the 26th minute. In the 31st minute, Florenzi did his second volley cross. Like the ball was like in the air and he just like tried to volley it on a cross. Like he didn't bring it down. And I was like, stop that. like, 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 I
This is
don't know.
ratchet ass. Motherfucker ratchet as hell for that.
I'm like, what are
He's
you
ratchet as hell for that, man.
I'm like, dog, what are you doing? Like the ball you're trying to volley cross. Like, no, dude.
I
Bring the ball
like
down.
y'all coming from my boy Florenzi. I still like Florenzi. Y'all really be hating on him. I like him.
You gotta you're a professional. Bring the damn ball down, dude. Like, what are we doing here? Um, but he must have hurt because he didn't do it anymore. 30th minute, there's a couple shots that went wide. There was Mbappe got fouled. Okay, if I'm facing the goal, it was on the left side. Perfect setup for a right-footed free kick taker. Like perfect. And Di Maria took it. I was so mad about that. I'm like, why is Di Maria taking this free kick right now? It's like right at the end of the half, 42nd minute. I'm like, why? Like, Mbappe never scored a free kick, I know, but like, I'm sure he does it in practice, dude. Like, can he just take it?
Hurt?
Huh? Yeah, that's after Neymar got hurt. Yeah.
Come on, now. Mbappe can't kick that.
I'm like, come on, man.
Is that bad?
I'm like, damn sure he does it in training.
Is that bad though?
Like, I was like, dude, I mean,
well, I know Florenzi got a little curve. Florenzi can't kick it. He got a little curve.
Something.
What's Roddy doing? He busy?
Like it was so far to the left. I'm like, this is another. I'm like, it's impossible for Di Maria to make this. Like impossible, and it just ended up hitting the wall. Anyway, halftime it was 0-0. No changes at the halftime. 46 minute right after half started. Sarabia put a really close shot over the bar. It was a really nice pass by Mbappe. And Sarabia, I think the ball might have just bounced right in front of him and he put it over the bar, a la Raheem Sterling. I put PSG as attacking a lot early. In like the 50-something minute, like before the 60th minute, I was like, you can tell both teams are so tired. I was like, are they just both going to play counterattack? Like, just like the ball just like end up in the middle, somebody getting it, just kind of go. I'm like, they're both exhausted. They might as well just both play counterattack ball.
You start to feel bad after a while. I'm like, dude.
Yeah, dude.
You guys are tired. I don't want to see this on the field.
No, it was not a fun match to watch. I'll be honest with you. But in the 64th minute, Moises Kean scored a nice header on a corner. It was funny because there was a corner on the other side, and Di Maria took it, and then it went out for a corner on the other side. And I was like, why the hell is Mbappe about to take this corner? I'm like, what's going on, dude? Why is Mbappe taking this corner? Puts it right in on Keane's head, and Keane scores.
My boy Keane, over here killing it right now. Let's go.
It was definitely bad defense by Başakşehir. I was like, I don't know what the hell you guys did. You just left him right there. But
big ass Italian. What?
Right. So yeah, he put that goal in. It was a really nice header on the corner. He did his dance, did his thing. He did a little other move after that too. He did it, and he did that, and then he was like, "Oh, okay, no, chill."
His dance is kind of fresh though.
Yeah, it is,
Kind of fresh on a low.
but I like when you score a brace, you got to bring out something else for the next one, dog. Like,
But it's cool. You were it's
but
just
you
cool.
gotta but you gotta do something else for the next goal, though.
All right, but I mean, it's just trademarks. It's kind of cool. It's been about doing the.
Yeah, that's old now. But it's like, dog, what if you score 4 goals? Like, what you gonna do that every time?
He just started ratcheting all over the place. Like, just started like shaking. That'd be hilarious. Maybe show him your dance move that you made up.
Who?
The connoisseur or whatever you called it.
Okay, I'm literally sitting down.
I'm saying you should send it to him for him
I'll
to do
send it to him. Oh,
Yeah.
that goal was in 64th minute. Oh, 71st minute. It was a really nice save by Keylor Navas. He was saving PSG's ass. Um, Also in the 71st minute, like Keylor Navas made a really good save, and then PSG's going back, and they just had it set up perfectly, and they're just so tired. I forgot what happened, but they just completely ruined a perfect chance. I did put after that, Danilo Expakina played really well at center back. 73rd minute, Rafinha and Tilo Kehrer came on for Di Maria and Florenzi. I definitely put that Kehrer's mistake was coming. He did have one, but it didn't amount to anything. 78th minute, Başakşehir had another good chance that they squandered. Right after that, 79th minute, Moises Kean scored again. What happened? The ball ended up getting to him from somebody. I forgot. It could have been Sarabia. I can't remember. But he tried to control it. Like he controlled it, but it popped up. But he did a nice turn and hit it in with his left foot. He's definitely I mean, every center forward is two-footed, but he's like really good with both feet. Yeah, what's the name? In the 88th minute, there was also another close miss by Sarabia. But match ended 2-0. PSG didn't play well, but you know, it's nice if PSG's not playing well that they have a center forward who gets in the spots that they need to be and also gets involved. Unlike Icardi. Icardi could have put away those goals too, for sure. But like, it's nice that Moises Kean gets involved in the play a lot. But even bigger deal is that they lost Neymar for what seems could be like a couple weeks. I don't know what the injury is yet, but I saw something that said like a few weeks. So yeah, PSG is back on the map with a win after that loss to Man U. Last match I watched was a boring one between Juventus and Barcelona. I'm not going to spend too much time on it because I don't want to be doing hella recaps like that. But it was funny. The first goal was a Dembele shot. I was like, whoa, what a goal, what a golazo. But it was deflected. But it was a nice shot, though. I think Morata had 3 goals called offside in this match, I think. And like, they were all pretty close, too. What else happened? Oh, Messi scored another penalty. It was funny because right before we recorded, I was watching this new, what is it, the Que Golazo show on CBS, UCL, whatever. And they're talking about Barcelona versus Juve. And I don't know why, but they're just like not mentioning that Juventus is missing Ronaldo. And I'm like, yo, dog, like that's a big deal. Like, Juve didn't look good, and they didn't even look good against Dynamo Kiev when I watched that match. Like, Chiesa is like, that's cool, but it ain't like that serious. Like,
This is not your game breaker for Juve. Never.
no, like,
He's not a
it
game
ain't,
breaker. He's
no.
good talent, but he's not a game breaker.
Like, the best player really out there was Betancourt, who's like really solid, and Cuadrado, of course. But like, you're missing your best player. Like, you're missing a really, really good player. Like,
Yeah.
it's. I mean, they're talking about it like that's not a big deal to be missing Ronaldo, and I'm like, Doug, imagine if Barcelona was playing without Messi. They're so bad. Or if even like PSG is playing without Mbappe. Like, granted, like Neymar is really good, but like Mbappe is like on a whole nother planet when it comes to like going at defenders right now with his speed. Mbappe is just kicking the ball 20, 30 yards ahead and running to it. Like
I mean, it's flawless as long as you have the knees for it. He was doing it in the World Cup. I'm like, no, they're just kicking it forward. He's just sprinting down past everybody and murdering us for it. It's really not fair. It was a ridiculous team. It's so annoying, man. I'm like, the counterattack, you're not allowed to counterattack with him. It's cheating.
Yeah. So I'm like,
There's no player in the back on the world that's running with him. I swear he would even burn Alphonso Davies. He's too fast, dude.
Ooh.
That'd be a good run now. It'd be a good run now. But
it would be. I don't know.
That'd be a good really fast. It'd be a good run.
Okay.
FIFA needs to have an All-Star break skills challenge too. I want to see some 40 times, dog. Let me see some 40s out there.
I want to see some people pull some hamstrings doing that.
Yeah, I want to see some injuries on shuttle drills. Let's go.
Like, I don't think he would burn him. He might get around him. Alphonso Davies can like because the only reason is because when he's doing that, the defender is ahead of him already. Yeah. So like it'll just depend if he can like get that quick turn.
It's really impressive to me when it comes to like somehow some of these guys really run because I'm just like, dude, like you're ridiculous. Like Mbappe, like the defender's already anticipating to run for the ball and you're like going around them too. Like, damn, dog. So his speed is absurd. It's cheating. I don't want to get into it again too long, but it's ridiculous.
But like, yeah, when they were recapping the match, they're just acting like Juve's. They're like, oh, why did Juve buy Chiesa? And why, like, I thought Juve was this, like, defensive stuff. I'm like, yo, they're missing their best player, dude. They're missing the best player in the whole league. Like, what are we talking about? Like they're going to be so much better with Ronaldo, and they're going to be so much worse without him. Like, are you kidding me? Like, come on now. But, like, it wasn't like Barcelona played amazing. Like, the Dembele shot was deflected. Griezmann hit the post one time. Like, Juve had a hard time getting stuff going offensively, but also, I mean, granted, Morata was offsides on those ones, but it wasn't by like some huge margin. There was one that like went to VAR for a while, and I actually thought that it was going to be onside, but like apparently he was off by a little bit. So like, yeah, it wasn't really like, and there was a red card in the 85th minute. But there was one play at the very end. I don't know what the hell Ansu Fati was doing. Like he had the rock, and he's like in the box, and he's like it's him and the goalie, but like Martin Braithwaite is like making a run to his left, and like yeah, like if you get the ball to Martin Braithwaite perfectly right then, he's just right on. Like there's nobody in front of him.
Yeah.
But it was really dumb. I'm like, dog, shoot the ball, dude. Like, shoot the ball, homie. Like, maybe the only reason he didn't, if this is the reason he's really smart, like, so, like, if you shoot the ball and it, like, the goalie saves and it goes, like, way down and maybe they score, but you're already up by 2, I'm like, yo, dog, like, you gotta shoot that ball, dude. and who knows? Because I remember when Dembele missed that shot against Liverpool in that first leg, and it would have been 4-0. Like when he squandered that chance, it came back to bite them. So I'm like,
That's true.
Run through really quick the other matches. Man U beat Leipzig 5-0. I only watched the last 10 minutes for when Cavani came on. He didn't score, but he played well.
Oh, that's good. I miss watching Cavani play.
There was actually a play like he could have scored. Like he shot the ball to win the back of the net, but he was offsides, but it wasn't his fault. Bruno Fernandes was taking forever to pass the ball, like pass the ball, and like he finally, but it's like you can only stay on sides for so long, too. Like and like after like Cavani actually put in a nice shot, but after he's like, "Dog, you gotta that's a rock, dude."
Big Cavani Bam over here.
Oh yeah. But Marcus Rashford had a hat trick. I was kind of shocked that they beat the dog shit out of Leipzig like that. My boy Sabitzer came off the bench though. That was weird.
What score?
Marcus Rashford had a hat trick. Martial got a penalty, and
damn, can they relax a little bit? Make me look bad on predictions, Jesus.
Who scored the other goal? Mason Greenwood scored, but he was offsides, no cap.
You don't like Mason Greenwood, do you? Because he's
No,
left.
he's fine, but he was definitely offsides. But he reminds me of them like. Let me relax. Bayern beat Lokomotiv Moscow 2-1. City beat Marseille 3-0. It's looking bad for France. It's gonna be PSG again. Only Liverpool won 2-0 against the Danish team. Atleti beat South.
Lyon got played, so whatever though.
This is true. Atleti beat RB Salzburg 3-2. I think they had to come back from behind. Porto beat Olympiacos 2-0. Atalanta and Ajax tied. They came back from 2-0 down. Duvan Zapata had a brace. Chelsea beat the dog shit out of Krasnodar 4-0. I didn't watch the highlights, but apparently Pulisic got a nice game. I think Zayed scored, and there was some other stuff. Lazio tied 1-0 with Club Brugge. BVB beat Zenit 2-0. Sevilla beat Rennes 1-0. France doing terrible, and the Hungarian team drew with Dynamo Kiev 2-2. Oh, also Ajax has a fake Lassina Traore.
Really?
Yeah, they were like Lassina Traore. I was like, what? And I like looked it up. And I was like, oh, it's another guy.
Damn, I was so excited. My boy made it back.
So
they're playing the YMCA right now.
But that dude plays in like the second or third Turkish division. I think he's the second division Turkey, the original Lassina.
Okay, yeah, he does play for Bandırmaspor.
Yeah, I think it's second division Turkey.
I see him. It still got his profile marking that CSK outfit. Go ahead, dog.
But this Lassina Traore, the fake one, he did score 5 goals the other week against some team. They like beat some team like 14-0 or something like that. Ajax did. And he scored in this match too against Atalanta. Did he score both goals? No. There was a penalty that Tadic scored, and then this guy scored 2. He seems like he's pretty good.
For
Ajax.
Yeah. They got a – I haven't really watched them play, but is it – they have a guy, like a Dutch striker, too. Is that what you're talking about? They have like a Dutch striker that's a little baller, too.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if he's claiming Netherlands, but he
probably is. No,
they do have some guy. I think I know you're talking about Sean something.
Mur something? Or I
no, okay.
No.
I don't know if that guy's a striker though. I just saw him.
He's a baller too. They're really good talent.
Okay, so yeah, that's Champions League. Let's talk a little bit about Barcelona before you get your UFCCs on. Big news, I guess. Josep Maria Bartomeu resigns. Finally. And actually, the entire board of directors stepped down. During his leaving speech, he said that Barcelona was going to join that European Super League thing or whatever, which I don't even think is going to happen. No. But your boy Javier Tebas, who was like, it's funny, like right-wing politics in different countries because Javier Tebas is like a right-wing dude. I looked it up, but he's like totally against this like European Premier League thing, and who knows if he can change his mind at some point. I don't know if he knows like the benefits or whatever. But he said that when Bartomeu said that Barcelona was going to join that, Javier Tebas, who is the president of La Liga, said that this confirms his ignorance about the football industry. He said, and Tebas said it's a weak and imaginary competition, which would be their ruin, talking about Barcelona. I guess Bartomeu stepped down before he could potentially be removed. I guess there's like, if you get 64% against you, then you gotta like you're fired. And they were saying like the estimates was it was going to be like 80% against him, so he just stepped down before he could get fired, or get whatever sacked. I don't know. I don't know too much about what the media is saying about this, like the football media, but I'm gonna keep it all the way real. This is how I feel. Barcelona is a rich club. They got plenty of money. If Bartomeu leaving makes it so they have less or more money, then it matters. But if that's not the case, then this is not going to change anything about Barcelona. I don't know who it was that bought Griezmann from Atleti, purchased his services. I don't know who it was that wouldn't allow for Luis Suarez to get some rest for the last couple of seasons. I don't know who that was. Mm-hmm. If it was Bartomeu, then yeah, you had to go. I don't think it was him though. Whoever was the person that was making those decisions, that's the one that's been toxic for Barcelona. The reason why we're in 2020 and there's all these people, all these players around here that play center forward, and Barcelona does not have one center forward on their team. Oh, actually, I take that back. They got Martin Braithwaite.
Okay, there you go. Your boy Braithwaite, the 9.
Yeah. Wearing the 9, too.
Rocking that 9, dog.
Hard body.
On that Mariano vibe.
Oh.
Barcelona got Mariano. You'd had a good time in Barcelona. You actually would have balled out. I've been really mad if you started balling over there.
Caesar, they could have got Moises Kean.
Moises Kean would have balled out over there.
They could have. I mean, I'm not going to get into
all the players. They don't deserve it. They don't deserve it. They have the money. They didn't make the moves.
I don't know who is the person that's responsible for that, but Messi's 33 years old. He's going to be out of here fairly soon. And if he stays there if he stays at Barcelona until he's 36, like it's just gonna be getting like Messi was balling today. He still do his thing, but like it's gonna be like that Kobe effect. The injury is gonna start happening.
And it's looking like the Kobe thing with the players around them.
Yeah,
like the goodbye tour.
Yeah, like it's like dog. Like I know fans love Messi. But, like, you got to really think about your club. You don't want to end up like the Lakers not making the playoffs for 10 years.
That's a long time.
You don't want to do that.
It's a long time, dog.
Didn't they not make the playoffs for 10 years?
Yeah, it was a long time since they made the playoffs.
Like,
I think it was 8 seasons, but not 10. But
I mean, might as well.
I think they won a championship in 2009.
So maybe it's a championship. I don't know. But either way, it's like, do you want your team to be, like, bad? Because, like, I mean, I don't know what Bartomeu does. Like, I don't even know his job. I'm sure I could do it. But, like, I don't know if he was the problem because nobody's addressing the issues except for We Made It podcast. 2 issues. But getting Griezmann and not having a center forward. But this winter is gonna be the marker. If Luis Suarez come back in the winter, you know that Messi is 100% in charge of everything.
You're done for, dog. I mean, I just think like you said, if they're not really trying to build a real good team around him, like towards the goodbye tour, like Messi, then like I feel like you're gonna be surprised when things open up and the like I don't know, maybe not attendance, but it's gonna be like awkward a little bit. Like if Messi's there and the team's sitting trying to fight for Europa League spot, like dude, you don't want to be doing that because it would be really hilarious to see you fools in the Europa League.
Like doggy, you think if Messi's 35 and he's still thugging, some dude on Sevilla is gonna take him out.
Yeah.
Some dude on Valencia is gonna be like, look, I'm about to take this dude out. Like if like I mean I'm saying a lot of ifs, but like if Barcelona is like if they haven't won the league in a few years and Messi's still there and he's still like playing well, like he's still like Barcelona right now without Messi is nowhere, like nowhere. If some dude is gonna be like, look, dog, like stomp on his leg, please, so we can get up in there and get this bread.
Like for real, like straight up.
You get millions to go in the Champions League. Somebody's gonna be like, man, stomp on him, man. They'll forget.
He'll win a damn game.
Yeah, dog. We trying to get that 4th spot.
Yeah.
For the hell. So I don't know, man. Like for me, like I say all that to say this. Like for me, that's just not a big deal because I just don't know who's the person or people that are actually making the decisions. I don't know who's responsible for all the whatever's happening there. I don't know. I don't remember Messi ever saying Bartomeu's name. Players have talked about the board, but I don't know what aspect of the board they're. I don't know what aspect of the board they're frustrated with, because what I saw last year when they lost 8-2 to Bayern, let's not forget that. Bartomeu wasn't on the pitch.
He wasn't playing on the field. I agree with you. I don't really know what kind of impact Bartomeu really made. If players, I don't really know. It's weird to know, because if the club was like already talking about making some budget cuts this season, and I remember reading about the players being like, hell no. And then you're letting Bartomeu go. Are they letting him go because the players don't like him, or are they letting him go because the players don't want to listen to him? Like, there's a big difference between that. If you're letting him go because he's not able to hand down that swift justice, or impose some or just we're able to negotiate these contracts better, then that makes, I understand, sure. But if you're letting them go just because they've been losing, it just creates more of the culture that, to me, that feeds into one of the biggest downfalls of Barcelona. There's like really not a lot of accountability with Messi. Like, there's not really accountability with the team that he's wearing the captain's band for. Not really an accountability for the changes they've made. You know, they let Luis Suarez go. And, I mean, say what you want about Madrid. At least they got Eden Hazard. Like, dude, like, what have you guys done? At least they made an attempt at something. Like,
they got a player that can dribble.
They signed up the players. They have Jovic or whatever. We have all these dudes on the team. Like, what are they doing? Who's Barcelona bringing in? They couldn't even get to pay off a non-European league Lyon team.
They got into midfield. Like. I don't know. For me, it's just like, but doggy, like, y'all lost 8-2, and I'm not blaming the board for that. Like, yeah. We saw the past 2 seasons, Barcelona hasn't played good football in a long time. Mm-hmm. And Luis Suarez started pretty much every match until he like had a stretch, like an injury, and he was like gone. And he came back and he looked the same. That was their weak point. Like, it was him. They didn't address it. They got Griezmann. Everybody in their god-daggone mama know that Griezmann's not a center forward, man. This fool won the World Cup, beat Argentina, playing behind the center forward. Like, what are we doing? We got Arsene. Was it Arsene? No, it was Deschamps or Arsene Wenger, one of them, saying like, oh, like Messi, Griezmann's not in his right spot. He needs to be playing where Messi is. You nobody putting no damn Antoine Griezmann over Messi. You can't.
Like, never, literally never.
And then also, you're saying, oh, he needs to be where Messi is. Like, no, he can't be where Messi is because he can't do what Messi does. Messi can dribble. Like, what are we talking about? So they just made bad decisions, and I for one don't know who was responsible for them. You know, they got I forgot to mention this. Did I forget to mention it? The player that can save Barcelona, like straight up 100%, is Ousmane Dembele. He's the one that can save them. If he can stay healthy this season, although he's still a ball loser, Caesar, he can't be a ball loser because he's black. Like, what's up with you, man?
Just continue. Jesus, man.
Caesar. Look, you act like I'm some kind of anti-black activist.
I mean, I didn't say that. You know, it's just the comment section. Go ahead.
You think I'm Bamdis Owens?
I mean, I think you're definitely Bamdis Owens. That's a great name. I might change your whole phone name to that on my phone. That'd be great. Wow. Great. I'm gonna Photoshop your face on the Candace Owens, but go ahead.
But he's a ball loser. But as I said before, he's the player that can save them because, like, he's their most dynamic player by far. I mean, aside from Messi, like Messi can't do it on his own. Ousmane Dembele can really do a lot for Barcelona this season. And although they didn't play very well against Juve, like, it was him, the one that was like the spark. He didn't even play the whole match. Ansu Fati's good too. Like, Ansu Fati can, like, Ansu Fati's going to do a lot for Barcelona too. But like you need like Ousmane Dembele does some more than him.
I think Osmani is like a much like a well, I guess better in terms also potential wise player than Di Maria. Like he kind of plays that real lefty crafty like slasher role, but at the same time like he is pretty 2-footed. It's pretty impressive what he can do with his right foot too.
1,000%.
It's really impressive. I mean, it goes back to the old quote they said when BVB signed him that he was joking around and not telling him what foot he was, and he's going to let them guess in practice.
Well, they said at Rennes they didn't even know.
They didn't know either, and then apparently he was saying that he's ambidextrous, so he can use both feet.
Yeah, he was saying he didn't know either.
Yeah, which is the most gangster thing to find out because I remember when they had him at BVB, they had him on the left side. He scored that amazing right-footed goal on Man U, and then they put him on the left. I was like, oh damn, he's just really doing whatever he wants. Like, it's really cool, but obviously, we've all come to learn he is a lefty. Like he's at the core a lefty, but he reminds me of like that Messi. I mean, reminds me of that Di Maria, like with that left foot. And I just think of like Argentina when they had that games without Messi, how much freedom and look Di Maria had when he was just running around. Like, just let Messi get one. What they call on Kyrie Irving, not Kyrie Irving. When like the NBA players had like the players they sat out for some game. Let Messi have one game where you just get to sit down a little bit and you let Dembele say, I bet he let loose. There's even been games we've seen where Dembele, when Messi's not there, Dembele kind of really runs a little bit harder.
Oh no,
so
for sure.
You could see there's a boatload of talent potential that's honestly is literally being bottled by this man being out there. And we've said it before. From the day that signing happened, we talked about on this show. I literally remember saying that was bad scouting. It was bad player management. That's not the position you had to address. And what happened since then? No Champions League wins. You didn't address the Neymar hole ever. You never addressed the Neymar hole. You never even made a try. You didn't even try to get a Hazard or anybody. You never even made a one swift effort to put somebody in the same Neymar spot where they had the previous team.
But you don't think Dembele can do that?
No. The problem with – I'm not saying Dembele can't do that, but the thing is they position Dembele on the same side of the field as Messi a lot. And the issue with that is you're not going to be able to get that going with that there. As much as Dembele's 2-footed, unless you have him at right wing, you tell him you're going to stay there and play that. But it's not many players in the world play that deep left wing like Neymar was doing that team. Like he was – very wide body, and and that was so beneficial to Messi and Suarez what they were doing over there. He was a monster on the side that you had to account for. Also, I'm not going to get into that. That's old news, but same thing. Like I agree with you. Dembele is a big factor, but regardless, he's a savior. But they need to get one more person to make it really crack off.
I mean, yeah.
And Depay would have been nice, and Depay would have been really good.
Yeah, and I don't want to go all the way back to those days, but like one of the big differences between those days and now is Luis Suarez. It was like, I mean, obviously before now, Luis Suarez just fell off so much. Like
the next year though, without him, he had a crazy year too though.
He had a better year, but it was like later in the season where I started to see that decline. Yeah. But either way, Barcelona board resigned, whatever. I don't know if it's a big deal or not. But Caesar, last Saturday, there was a big fight in your violent favorite sport.
We did not do a post-fight coverage.
Huh?
We did not do a post-fight show.
You're saying we like that's my fault.
No, I forgot.
Yeah, exactly. He's probably on all world-known drugs.
Very much on Saturday.
Yeah, world on drugs. What's the name? There was a big fight between Khabib and somebody else. I don't know.
Khabib and Justin Gaethje.
Who?
Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje, a good striker, most notably known for knocking out Tony Ferguson, undefeated fighter for 10 years. Finally got the opportunity to fight Khabib. Khabib, who I also have agreed, probably the best fighter in the UFC, probably best fighter in the world, sensational, a grappling wizard, literally, in terms of wrestling, sambo wrestling, everything. What's up?
Wait, he's the best fighter in the world now or ever?
Not ever. I think
Okay.
he's one of them right now. I mean, if you're gonna put a gun to my head, I'd say the best fighter in the world is Izzy. I think Israel's the best fighter in the world, hands down. Like, I think actually Israel's better than John Jones right now. But Khabib is no, for real. I'm not playing. Khabib, Israel's ridiculous.
Didn't he lose before? Didn't he lose before?
Israel?
Yeah.
He's never lost in his life in MMA.
But John Jones hasn't either, right?
No, John Jones never like lost. He's gotten like a PED overturned. So he also got a no contest. He elbowed somebody incorrectly, so you got a loss for that.
Okay, but I mean,
he's never gotten like a decision or gotten flatlined or anything like that. No.
But I mean, not to derail you, but like, who do you think's fought better people between them?
I mean, I think in the past John Jones has, but I think John Jones is washed now, to be honest with you.
Okay, but hold up. I'm saying before he's washed, has John Jones fought better people than Israel?
Oh, I mean, John Jones fought literally a generation of a bunch of Hall of Famers right before they were done, and then he's beaten like DC twice and like had him like drooling on himself for sure. People always say DC's one of the best ever, but John Jones whooped his ass. I agree.
Whose ass is Israel whooped? Right now, ain't whooped nobody.
Right now, I think Izzy's better than John Jones. Right now.
Okay, but that's different. John Jones old now and SARS.
My statement was not who's the best of all time. I just said I think that right now, the gun to my head, the best fighter in the world is Israel Adesanya.
In SARS.
Please end SARS, like for real, and take away John Jones' Twitter account. The worst thing in history. I literally have to. He's getting close to getting the Kanye mute. He's ridiculous, dude. He's ridiculous right now. He's going 3-day rant about why he's the best in the world. He can't stop in his garage in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Is he saying continue SARS?
He might as well, because he has a canine. And his favorite videos are him posting up videos of his dog attacking people with the outfits on. I'm like, dude, like, you're literally 12.
You're 12, homie.
You're literally 12. I mean, he was 12 when he got his sentence reduced because he got the snitch on steroids, people doing steroids. So I knew he was 12. Yeah, he snitched.
He bit the cheese?
He bit the cheese, yeah. And I knew he snitched because he got to confirm a rumor that way back in the day, the USADA came to test him. And he confirmed that he hid under the gym floor when they came to find him, and he get in trouble at all for it. I'm like, dog, you got 12 on your back. You got the 12. He signed that contract willing to give up people doing steroids. A bunch of people popped after that too. I was like, okay, interesting, snitch. So I don't like John Jones that much anymore. It kind of makes him he had to sell a lot to come back. You ain't got to sell it that hard. I'd rather you kind of like crash and burn. That'd have been a lot more fun to watch. What? But no. I always said, though, at the time, I was listening to John Jones, the best fighter in the world, and regardless. Last 3 fights, been looking kind of rough, even though I did on this show score that fight for John Jones. Everybody was capping. I thought he did a great job. Been looking kind of rough lately, so I think Izzy's the best, but that's not what it's about. Ben got me on a tangent. Khabib beat Justin Gaethje round 2 submission. What's crazy, Khabib is such a good grappler that Justin actually flew his parents out from Abu Dhabi. I don't know why I can't pronounce it right now. Abu Dhabi, right? Abu Dhabi. He flew his parents out from Denver, Colorado, Abu Dhabi and because he was gonna honor his parents by retiring his mom today after winning his fight. It only took him 29 fights to retire his mom. That shows how MMA is. Took him 400 years to do it. Jesus. So he comes to fight, and Khabib is grappling and attempting submissions on him. He had him in an arm lock, and Khabib said, I let go of his arm because I didn't want to break his arm in front of his mom, so I just choked him out instead so he goes to sleep. I was like, oh, my God. You're really good and also ridiculous. Apart from the sad thing about Khabib is who he aligns with. We'll get into that when me and Bam talk geopolitics later. Found out some dirt. I was reading this article on him on The Guardian. Some wild people Khabib rolls with. Khabib decided to retire, which was a shock, sort of, to a lot of us. I think one of the most underused things and the most disgusting things about the UFC right now is that they're being a big part. Another good article to read is the UFC has been a big mechanism for the Trump campaign. So a ton of fighters are coming out in support of Trump, and also Trump is putting a lot of fighters along with his sons to go on tour buses around America, saying the End Socialism tour and all this stuff with his son, and having people like Jorge Masvidal, because he's Latino and Cuban, speak in support of Trump, which sucks because I like Jorge Masvidal. A lot of fighters, Justin Gaethje's a big Trump supporter. A lot of these guys who's kind of the faces of UFC have been doing the Trump campaign lately. So it's been really hard as hard as it is for me already to enjoy UFC. It's been all-time hard for me right now.
That was cap.
This is max pushing. The only people I follow now, like these 3 MMA people who are these female journalists, they're fantastic. Everybody else is whack and they're really cool. So anyways, Khabib, he decided to retire. His dad sadly passed away due to coronavirus.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, his dad, who actually never got to see Khabib fight in the UFC in his, I think 11 prior fights. But then once they started having him in Abu Dhabi, he was able to come to the fight. So he came to 2 fights, and then after that, unfortunately, he passed away. Wasn't able to see this title defense Khabib got to do. So his dad didn't get to go to the one against Conor, but he got to go to the last one.
What, did his dad die in the former USSR or?
Yeah, his dad died in Russia.
Okay.
Yeah, or Dagestan or whatever.
Yes, that's Russia, son.
I don't know what they feeling. So
don't be a
I'm about what the peoples want.
Okay.
So
keep talking. I'm just gonna plug my phone in.
Yeah, you're gonna leave. So, anyways,
That'd be hilarious.
Khabib, literally, I think one of the most impressive things about Khabib is that a lot of people come into the UFC, such as Israel Adesanya. His approach was, I'm only going to come to the UFC when I'm ready. I'm a Muay Thai. I'm a kickboxer. I'm a kickboxer. I like to fight with striking. I need to work on my wrestling defense. I want to make it almost impossible for people to take me down. Khabib, he literally said, all I do is grapple. And instead of me learning how to be a boxer, I'm going to learn a little bit of striking so I don't get my head knocked off. But I'm just going to be better than any grappler you could ever imagine, and I'm just going to keep doing it all the time. It's like the famous quote. People always talk about, this guy has 90% takedown, blah, blah, blah. Khabib says, DC, the reason you lost that fight, he literally said this, DC, the reason you lost that fight because you attempted one takedown, you got it, and then you got comfortable. If Justin stops me from taking down 10 times, I'm going to try 11 times. I'm going to keep trying takedowns. Khabib did. He went for it, got him on the ground, and sliced him up like it was nothing. Just destroyed him, grappled him, put that quad around his neck, and choked him out. It was over. Bam's having a great time. It's just like me listening to his recaps. So shout out Khabib. Phenomenal career. I thought one of the most disgusting things after is a lot of the reporters asking if Dana's going to try to convince him to come back. I'm like, dude, the guy literally said that his mom told him not to fight in this fight, and he said, I'm just going to do this one fight and I'm done. I swore to my mom I'm not going to fight anymore, so I'm retiring today. The simple fact you're going to ask this dude during the camp his father died just shows you the shallowness of just the whole scope of MMA. That whole world is gross. It's gross and filled with a lot of shitty people. Yes,
Caesar, he's going to fight again, dog.
I'm be real with you. I don't think Khabib is, because one thing I'll say about Khabib, out of all the fighters I've seen in UFC in my time watching, I've never really kind of seen someone quite like him. A lot of people would not say no to a Conor rematch. Conor came back and Khabib literally said, I'm never going to fight him again. He had his chance. It's over, which is a big thing to say. A lot of fighters kind of just submit to UFC's will. He said no, and he kept his word. He fought 3 times since then, never fought him again. And that was the biggest check he ever got. So I'm going to believe him because he's earned that right to me to believe him for now, and obviously all these dudes say they're going to retire. Anderson Silva says he's going to retire. He's already saying he might want to fight until he's 60. I'm like, I hate you so much. So
wait. Is Anderson Silva the one that broke his leg on that dude's leg?
Yeah, he's fighting this Saturday. He hasn't won since that day, by the way. So I think he's literally lost like 1 million in a row, but he's still cool to watch.
Khabib is going to fight again.
He has like a little beer belly, and it's hilarious, but go off, though.
Okay, but Caesar, the difference, though, Khabib has a whole nation behind him. So he can, make decisions about Conor and stuff like that. But he's fighting again.
Yeah, I think I don't really know what fight would really interest him. I don't think anybody's out there. I mean, he beat everybody. He literally beat everybody. He's
what weight class is he?
29-0. That's a crazy number.
What weight class is he?
He's a lightweight, which is the deepest, most talented division in UFC.
What,
Connor, Cowboy, all these dudes are in there.
What weight is that? Like what size?
155.
155?
Yeah.
Okay.
He cuts something. He's like at 185. I think he cuts 35 pounds or some crazy number.
Where does Israel fight?
Israel fights at 185.
They're gonna fight.
They're never gonna fight. Literally,
they're gonna fight. They're gonna fight.
No, they're not.
How old is Israel?
Do you know? Okay, listen.
How old is he?
Israel's 32.
How old is Khabib?
31, I believe.
They're gonna fight in 2 years.
Listen, Khabib goes to 155. There's a 170-pound division that Khabib doesn't fight in. Then he's gonna jump instead of he's gonna fight 185. Do you know Izzy is 6'4"? Khabib is 5'10".
Caesar, how tall is that kickboxer dude?
What kickboxer dude?
The one that fought the kickboxer. You know what I'm talking about? The one that
Alistair Overeem?
No, the one that St. Louis dude fought.
That you're talking about that Tyron Woodley fought?
Yeah, he fought
Darren Till?
He fought some kickboxer white guy.
Darren Till, the English dude from Liverpool.
I don't know. No, I don't think it was him. I think it was somebody.
Wonder Boy.
Yes, Wonder Boy.
Like 6'1".
No, he's kind of taller than that, dog. Don't make me start singing Wonder Boy by Tenacious D.
PS4 game, Wonder Boy.
Don't make me start singing Wonder Boy.
He's 6 feet tall.
You looking at a different Wonder.
Tyron Woodley's 5'9", right?
Okay. Anyway.
So you lost your point. Nice try though. It's ridiculous. If that fight happens, I don't want to see that fight.
Yeah,
he's gonna put his face into the floor. I'm not believing that.
Khabib and Israel's gonna fight.
No.
They are.
No, they're not.
Okay.
That's not what the show's about anyways. So Khabib won. He retired. Now
allegedly
the fight, this vacant belt in the air. A lot of people are speculating that the alleged Conor fight, which I think is cap, because I don't think he's a real fighter anymore. He always says he is. I'm like, yeah, you fought one time, January 2020. Like, you're not really a fighter anymore.
Who?
Conor allegedly has a fight he agreed for in January. He's like tweeting the Cowboys, like, let me put it in your stadium or some dumb shit. It's like so corny. Yeah, he's apparently this is gonna be the title fight. Allegedly, that's gonna be the rumor. We'll see what happens.
Who would it be against?
It would be against Dustin Poirier. Khabib choked out both guys, by the way.
So you're a Khabib
everybody
guy
that like basically everybody that's like popping in that division, Khabib destroyed them all.
So you're a Khabib guy all of a sudden.
No, I mean I never was not a Khabib guy. I think he's a great fighter, but like
you said his hats are dumb.
His hats were very dumb, but that's his thing though. That's his culture, you know. He wants to wear them damn igloo hats. Free with polar bears though, but yeah. So I just don't like. I don't think I like about Khabib is. I know we talked about a long time ago about like dictators in areas and regimes and all stuff. The dude he rolls with is a horrible person.
Wait, is it Kadyrov?
Yeah, Kadyrov.
Yeah. Hey man, hold up.
He'd be like really. He'd have a lot of pictures of that dude. I'm like, hey, man,
well, hold on.
But Khabib doesn't do like Ozil does and like kind of like flex about other players. I'm like, he at least he doesn't do that.
Okay, but let me just say, Kadyrov is he runs Chechnya area.
Yeah, they're cool.
Yes, and
big UFC guy, Mr. Kadyrov.
Yeah, and he's been around for a while. But I will say this, as someone who knows about the and also there's no polar bears in that region, by the way.
I don't know about that.
It's too far south. It used to be really bad in Chechnya.
San Diego. Go ahead, sorry.
There's polar bears are lost in that island, but it used to be really turned up. There was a whole war there, and I'm not saying that I'm not the one to cape for a leader or for some governor dude or whatever, but there is some propaganda against him.
Okay, and I'm not disagreeing with you. Now, my only argument with the guy who wrote this article, Hakeem Sedan, I think his name is, I think what he does is cool because nobody in MMA talks about geopolitics but him. I can respect that he does that. He wrote some articles talking about some of the human rights abuses that Kadyrov has had against gay people in the region and like some horrible things. And I agree with you as well, too. I think that there's two sides of your story. Not saying that maybe he hasn't done stuff, but I think it's important to read it, understand different areas. A lot of people like to write about stuff and think they have an understanding of a region. Even people who are like in MMA, like Luke Thomas, they may read about something a lot, but it's just never the same as you being in the area. And it's just never the same as having multiple sources from the region. You know, when you're having one source give you something's going on, it's tough to really like hard body agree with that. It's good to have something to have a disparity with so you can really readily like feel like, what do I believe in, yes or no? So yes, but also when he was running his own MMA organization, he had some wild rules in there too. So I'm not gonna, I don't know, dude, okay. He's not clean, squeaky clean. I'll just say that. He's not squeaky clean. All right.
No, he's not squeaky clean.
Who is in that region?
Yeah. Well, I mean, and also like, yeah, I mean, it's kind of turned up. Russia's a lot different than here, but also like, I mean,
this is
we're not gonna get all into the geopolitics, but I will say this: it was turned up in Chechnya. It was turned up. And one of them big dudes who was a separatist Chechen jihadi fighter, Shishani, he ended up in Syria, and he was trained by the CIA.
Oh, big geopolitics man with the flex drop right there. I mean, that's why we would have had the best MMA show ever. We should just switch over. Literally be so easy. They'll already be sending us press passes to go to UFC events we're not going to go to. We're going to go to Bellator.
That would suck so bad.
That would be so rough. No, a lot of them are just doing like Zoom meetings. I'm down. We'll do the same thing.
I don't want to. That's too many dudes.
Never go. I don't want to press pass either.
I don't want to be. I don't want to end up like a bro like you.
No. Okay. Anyways, wow. Way to sneak and diss me into the show. Love doing this podcast. Last thing I'll say is that I think that I disagree with the UFC giving Khabib pound for pound number one. I think although John Jones was on some weird drunk rant on Twitter, there was some truth to it. It's really disrespectful to him to take him off number one based on not losing any fights recently. I said personally, right now my favorite's Izzy, but I'm not the pound for pound list maker. I think that John Jones still will deserve that number one spot. To take it away from him when Khabib has only had 4 title defenses in his career, John Jones has 15 title defenses, and he's still fighting. Dude, like, it's kind of like a little iffy. And John Jones is apparently making a move to heavyweight. So I'm excited to see what happens with cocaine and heavyweights. It'll be a good time. Hopefully he never fights a black person there. Probably going to fight Ngannou, though, because you know the UFC. First fight's going to be Ngannou. You know, it is what it is. But anyways, yeah, so that's my MMA recap. It's been a while since I did it. Want to do a sub show with Bam, but we'll see what happens.
Yes, and we can always do that whenever you're up for it. Anyway, episode 176, The Labor of No Love. We made a podcast. Say what?
What's the cover going to be?
You
don't know. Freedom Discussion Society on Thursday. Make sure y'all check the www.freediscussionsociety.com. Follow my boy Tarek at Mufasa's Taquitos. I don't know if there's an X there or not. Something like that on Twitch. Please do. Your boy Ceez is back streaming now. We made it Ceez on YouTube. Everybody got YouTube. I better see some subs on there. Everybody got YouTube. I didn't tell you to download Twitch. You got YouTube on your phone. So follow your boy on there. I'll be playing some Among Us. There's definitely a video where Bam is playing and he betrayed my heart and soul just to get a dub. And you just see how shout-outs people get in this world. But yeah.
That video is great. I showed it to KD. She was dying. Yeah.
I'm making a video out of it to post, and it's hurting me every time I edit it. I'm like, I can't believe how stupid I look here.
Yeah, holler.